Human beings have a deep-rooted need to belong. If we can effectively speak to which groups they associate with, then we can persuade our potential prospects a lot easier. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys the 3 different kinds of groups that people associate with and how you can take advantage of these 3 groups to bring more leads and sales to your business. But what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is Marketing with Dev. Make sure you guys give me a like, comment, subscribe, and hit those bell notifications so you can be notified when I drop new videos just like this one. And the topic of this video comes from Cashvertising by Drew Eric Whitman. It's a great book for all small business owners, marketers, or anybody who sells anything to learn and really hone your skills. So let's get into the video. So the 3 groups that people associate with are 1, aspirational. These are groups that people actually want to belong to. Then there's associative. These are groups of people that share your ideals and your values. And then there's dissociative, which are groups that you just don't want to belong to. When you link your product or your service to one of these 3 groups, we can make our prospects make a decision based off how the group thinks. So in this case, the person would be buying your product or your service for the group it would help them belong to, not necessarily for the merits of your product or your service. Now, that's not to say that your product or your service isn't actually really good, but for people who feel like this, the main reason why they're doing something is so they can, feel like they belong to a specific group. And we all deal with this and we all go through this whether we want to admit it or not. All human beings have some kind of level of wanting to belong, whether that's wanting to belong to a political party or belong on a team or belong with your family or whatever the case may be. Human beings naturally just want to belong. So it's super important that we actually take advantage of this, because since all of our prospects are going to be human beings, all of our prospects are going to have the same need for belonging. So knowing this information that I'm teaching you guys, we can include it into our marketing, include it into our advertising to help grow our businesses. So if you want to appeal to the aspirational group, then you need to make sure that your prospects can identify with them. So for example, if you sell a product or a service that is for parents, right? In your copy, you want to say things that people would attribute to good parenting, right? And in your ad video or your ad image, you want to show these people using your product or your service in a way that would make them look like a good, responsible parent, right? Because the aspiration is that people want to be good parents. So that is exactly how you can take advantage of that. If you're trying to appeal to the associative group, then you need to link your product or your service to a societal group. You can do this by 1, closely associating your product or your service to the target group that specifically appeals to the attitudes and values of the group. And number 2, by disassociating your product from other groups within society. Oftentimes this is done to make it more acceptable or cool. So here's an example of how 3 different companies are appealing to these different kinds of groups. So when a company like Walgreens says they're the pharmacy that America trusts, what they're doing is making people feel like, well, I'm American, and if other Americans trust them, then maybe I should trust them too. This is the psychology behind what they're doing. Another company like Eucerin, they're the #1 dermatologist recommended brand for dry skin. What they're doing is appealing to the people who want the very best, right? So if they're saying this is the #1 brand, if you want to use the #1 brand, then you need to use Eucerin, right? So they're appealing to that group of people who only want the best. And another example from Jif Peanut Butter is choosy moms choose Jif. So choosy here gets a good connotation, right? They're saying choosy as in I'm not just going to give my kid just anything, right? So most moms are going to want to belong to that group, because you wouldn't just give your kid any old thing and that could possibly get them sick or that's not good for them. So that's exactly why they take that approach that they're taking right here. So hopefully that kind of clears things up for you guys so you can see how actual companies that you guys probably shop with are using the same exact principles that I'm teaching you about. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys give me a like, comment, subscribe, and hit those bell notifications so you can be notified when I drop new videos just like this one. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.